When a woman reaches out after silence. When a woman reaches out after a period of silence, it's not just a simple message, it's a test. How you respond in that moment will determine whether she grows closer to you or drifts away for good. This is your chance to spark her curiosity, reignite her feelings, and show her the confident man she can't resist. But most men fail this test by making common mistakes that ruin their chances. In this video, we'll break down exactly what those mistakes are and how you can avoid them to take full control of the situation. Stick around, because by the end, you'll know the secret to keeping her attention and making her chase you. Section 1. Don't respond too quickly. When she finally reaches out after days, weeks, or even months of silence, your first instinct might be to reply immediately. It's a natural reaction. You've been waiting for this moment, and her message feels like validation. But here's the harsh truth. Responding too quickly can backfire, and here's why. When you reply instantly, it sends the message that you've been sitting around waiting for her to reach out. It tells her you've placed her on a pedestal, that she's your top priority, and that your world revolves around her. This approach eliminates any mystery or intrigue. Women are attracted to men who have a purpose and are busy pursuing their goals. By replying instantly, you risk appearing overly available, which can cause her to lose interest. Instead, take your time. This doesn't mean ignoring her for days or playing games, but give yourself a moment to gather your thoughts and compose a response. Even waiting an hour or two can signal that you're confident and in control. When you do reply, keep it brief and light-hearted. For example, if she sends a simple, "Hey," resist the urge to write a long, eager response. Instead, say something like, "Hey, good to hear from you." This shows that while you're happy to hear from her, you're not dropping everything to engage. Remember, confidence is about balance. Taking your time shows that you're secure in yourself and that her message didn't turn your world upside down. That calm, measured energy is what keeps her intrigued. Section 2. Avoid over-explaining yourself. When a woman reaches out, it's easy to fall into the trap of over-explaining. You might feel the need to justify why you haven't contacted her or overcompensate to prove that you've been busy and productive. This instinct comes from a place of insecurity. You want her to see you in a positive light. But ironically, over-explaining often has the opposite effect. It makes you seem nervous and unsure of yourself. For example, if she asks, "Why didn't you text me?" Many men launch into a detailed explanation such as, "Oh, I've been so busy with work, the gym and family stuff. Plus, I didn't want to bother you or come off too strong." While this might seem polite, it actually weakens your position. It tells her that you're seeking her approval or validation for your actions. Instead, keep it simple and direct. A response like, "I've been focusing on myself," or "just staying busy with life," conveys confidence without giving too much away. The less you explain, the more curious she becomes. She'll start to wonder what you've been up to, and that intrigue works in your favor. Women are drawn to men who are comfortable in their own skin. By keeping things concise and leaving some mystery, you show that you don't feel the need to prove yourself. This subtle shift in communication can make a huge difference in how she perceives you. Section 3. Don't let emotions take over. When her name suddenly pops up on your screen, it's natural to feel a wave of emotions. Maybe you're excited because you've been waiting for her to reach out, or perhaps you're feeling resentful, thinking, "Why now, after all this time?" Whatever your initial reaction, letting your emotions take over is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Emotional responses, whether they're overly eager or overly cold, tend to come off as reactive. For example, if you respond with a flood of texts expressing how much you missed her, it can feel overwhelming and even desperate. On the other hand, if you respond with anger or sarcasm, you risk pushing her further away. The key is to pause and process your emotions before responding. Ask yourself, why is she reaching out? Is she genuinely interested in reconnecting, or is she simply testing the waters? By approaching the situation with a calm and composed mindset, you maintain control over the interaction. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions entirely. It's okay to feel excited or even a bit nervous. But when you respond, focus on conveying confidence and self-assurance. A simple, measured tone in your response shows that you're in control of your emotions and that her message didn't throw you off balance. Women respect and are attracted to men who can handle their emotions with maturity. Section 4. Never jump straight to what went wrong. When she contacts you after a long period of silence, it can be tempting to jump straight into discussing what went wrong or why there was a break in communication. However, diving into negative topics too quickly can derail the conversation and create unnecessary tension. Section 5. Don't make it all about her. When she reaches out, it's easy to fall into the habit of making the conversation all about her. You might ask a lot of questions about her life, her feelings, or what she's been up to. While showing interest is important, overdoing it can make you seem overly invested, and it shifts the dynamic, putting her in the driver's seat while you take a back seat. Here's a better approach. Balance the conversation by sharing things about yourself. If she asks how you've been, don't just say, "I'm good, how about you?" Instead, share something meaningful. For example, you could say, "I've been great, just started a new hobby that I'm really enjoying," or "I've been focusing on some personal goals and it's been rewarding." This not only makes the conversation more engaging, but also reminds her that you're living a fulfilling life without her. Women are drawn to men who have a sense of purpose and direction. By showing that you're focused on your own growth and happiness, you become more attractive in her eyes. It also shifts the dynamic of the conversation, making her more curious about you and what's going on in your life. Section 6. Don't assume her intentions. When she reaches out after weeks of silence, your mind might jump to conclusions. Is she missing me? Does she regret what happened? Is she looking to rekindle things? While it's natural to speculate, one of the biggest mistakes you can make is assuming her intentions without any clear evidence. This assumption not only sets you up for potential disappointment, but also shifts your focus away from how you should approach the situation. Here's the reality. Women reach out for different reasons, and not all of them mean she wants to rekindle things. She might just be curious about what you're up to, testing the waters, or even seeking validation for herself. Approaching her message with a neutral mindset allows you to respond in a way that aligns with your self-respect and personal goals. Instead of making assumptions, focus on her actions rather than her words. For example, if she sends a simple, "Hey," don't immediately assume it's a grand gesture. Respond calmly and observe her effort in continuing the conversation. Is she showing genuine interest in your life? Is she asking questions and engaging in a meaningful way? These are the signs that her intentions might align with yours. A great way to keep the dynamic balanced is to respond with curiosity, not expectation. For instance, if she asks how you've been, reply confidently but leave some mystery. "I've been great, working on a few exciting things, how about you?" This keeps the interaction light while signaling that you're not placing too much weight on her message. Ultimately, by staying neutral and observant, you take control of the situation. This calm, confident approach not only protects you from potential disappointment, but also piques her interest, as she'll sense your self-assuredness and emotional maturity. Section 7. Don't revert to old patterns. When a woman reaches out, it's easy to fall back into the same dynamic you had before. Maybe you were overly available, constantly accommodating her needs, or quick to seek her approval. Reverting to these old patterns is a missed opportunity to show her how much you've grown since the no-contact period. Consider this: if she's reaching out, there's a reason. Something about the silence or your absence has made her curious, and she's likely observing how you respond. If you immediately slip back into being overly eager or accommodating, it sends the message that nothing has changed. This can quickly diminish the respect or intrigue she may have started to feel for you. Instead, use this as a chance to demonstrate your growth. Show her that you've become a better version of yourself, and that you're no longer the person who would chase or seek constant approval. By maintaining boundaries and showing emotional maturity, you'll create a new dynamic, one where you're in control and the relationship feels more balanced. Section 7. Don't revert to old patterns. When a woman reaches out, it's easy to fall back into the same dynamic you had before. Maybe you were overly available, constantly accommodating her needs, or quick to seek her approval. Reverting to these old patterns is a missed opportunity to show her how much you've grown since the no-contact period. Consider this: if she's reaching out, there's a reason. Something about the silence or your absence has made her curious, and she's likely observing how you respond. If you immediately slip back into being overly eager or accommodating, it sends the message that nothing has changed. This can quickly diminish the respect or intrigue she may have started to feel for you. Instead, take this opportunity to establish a new, healthier dynamic. For example, if she suggests meeting up, don't jump to agree immediately. You might say something like, "I'd like that. Let me check my schedule and get back to you." This shows her that your time is valuable and that you're not dropping everything for her. Similarly, if she starts bringing up past grievances, resist the urge to over-apologize or justify yourself. Respond calmly and assertively, keeping the focus on the present. Breaking old patterns isn't just about how you respond to her. It's also about how you carry yourself. Show her that your priorities and boundaries have shifted. When she sees that you've grown and aren't the same person she left behind, it creates a sense of curiosity and admiration. Growth is attractive, and demonstrating it through your actions can rekindle her interest far more effectively than words ever could. Section 8. Don't ignore red flags. When a woman reaches out after a period of silence, the excitement of hearing from her can make you overlook certain behaviors or signs. Perhaps her messages are sporadic, vague, or lacking in genuine effort. Or maybe she's reaching out at odd times, like late at night, or her tone feels more like she's testing you than genuinely reconnecting. Ignoring these red flags can set you up for frustration and emotional setbacks. Pay attention to the quality of her communication. Is she genuinely engaging, or does it feel like she's reaching out just to pass the time or boost her ego? For instance, if her messages are short and lack follow-up questions, it's a sign that her interest might be surface level. Similarly, if she's avoiding direct communication or making excuses when you suggest meeting in person, it's worth considering whether she is truly invested in reconnecting. Addressing red flags doesn't mean confronting her aggressively or shutting her down. Instead, approach the situation with curiosity and tact. For example, if her responses are inconsistent, you might say, "I noticed you seem a bit distracted. Everything okay?" This gentle nudge not only acknowledges the behavior, but also gives her the opportunity to clarify her intentions. By identifying and addressing red flags early, you maintain control of the situation and protect yourself from unnecessary disappointment. It also demonstrates your self-respect and emotional awareness, which are qualities that women admire. Remember, it's better to address these issues now than to invest time and energy into a situation that doesn't align with your values. Section 9. Don't be afraid to walk away. When she finally reaches out, it's tempting to hold on to the interaction no matter what, especially if you've been hoping for this moment. However, one of the most powerful things you can do is recognize when walking away is the best option. This isn't about punishing her or playing games. It's about valuing your self-respect and understanding that not all connections are worth salvaging. Walking away can be a response to many scenarios. Maybe her messages feel half-hearted, or she's not showing genuine effort to reconnect. Perhaps her actions are inconsistent with her words, or you sense that she's not fully invested. In these cases, clinging to the interaction only diminishes your self-worth and gives her more power in the dynamic. By choosing to walk away, you're making a statement about your standards. For example, if she's been flaky about making plans, you might say, "I think it's best if we both take some more time to figure out what we want." This leaves the door open while asserting that you won't settle for less than you deserve. The power of walking away lies in its impact. It signals that you're not afraid to prioritize your well-being, which can shift the dynamic in your favor. Many women are drawn to men who value themselves enough to step back when necessary. This confident, self-assured energy can make her rethink her approach and even reignite her interest. Conclusion. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.